Good afternoon, Prescott Valley. My name is Bob Tyser, your Chief of Police. Today is another edition of Chief's Chat. So today we have two of our really great employees here from the police department, from our Animal Control Division. We have Tim Yogerst and Sarah Lemons. And we're going to be talking about animal control and what that has to do with our community and some of the services they offer, and maybe even a story or two. We were just talking a little bit about quail and quadrimundis and rattlesnakes and all kinds of things. So welcome. Glad you're both here.
Thanks.
Tim, you're the supervisor of the unit?
Yes, I'm the supervisor of the unit. I've been with Prescott Valley for almost 6 years.
Awesome. Yeah. Sarah?
I'm new. I've been here almost 3 months.
Wow. Okay, great. So this is a unique position in our department for our community, animal control. A lot of folks want to become police officers. They want to come into the organization there, but you two chose to come into animal control. Sarah, maybe I'll start with you. Why'd you make a decision to come here to work for our organization in animal control?
I've always had a love for animals and to care for them and just help out wherever I can. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Animal lover.
Yep.
For sure. Tim?
Yeah, I grew up with animals, ranch, farm, and it's something that I wanted to do, and it's one of the jobs that brought me closer to home, and a job that I actually love and enjoy.
Awesome. Great. So we have both of you here. We also have another employee with
Yes.
animal control, so there's three of you.
And there's 3 of us now.
3 of you to serve all the needs of the community of about 50,000 people.
Yes.
You got a big job.
Yes.
Tell the community a little bit about what you do on a daily basis.
On a daily basis, a lot of times we're catching dogs that are running loose on the roads. We bring them back to our police station at the precinct now. We just recently, within the last year, built a new kennel, and we can house 8, comfortably 4, but it is completely in climate controlled, and we have cots for them all, so it's really comfortable, and it gives the public a better opportunity to come pick up their animal closer to home than driving to Prescott and picking up their dog at the Humane Society. So hopefully we can do a better service to the community and get the dogs home quicker. That's basically what we really want to do, and that's our goal, is to get them home and get them home quick.
Yeah, that's a great service that you're providing to the community. Previous to the new kennels that we have at the police department, when you would get a hold of a dog that was off leash, running around without an owner around, you would have to take that animal all the way up to near Washington Lake,
yeah.
right, up in Prescott. Right. And then a citizen, when they want to retrieve their dog, they'd have to go all the way up there and come all the way back. And now they can come right here and take care of this locally.
Yes. And it gives us a better opportunity as well to get our dogs licensed.
Okay.
And licensing is required by the state of Arizona and Prescott Valley. It's just to make sure our animals are vaccinated, and licensing also helps us return them home.
Okay, good. So Sarah, let's pick up on that a little bit. For the community, that's really important, is licensing.
Yep.
So when you find a stray dog, let's just say a stray dog, and you bring the animal to the police department, and then the owner comes to pick up that animal, and let's say that animal is not licensed, does not have their rabies vaccination, whatever the case is. How does that procedure work when they come there?
so we like to educate them on that and how important it is to get their rabies vaccine, and then get the license through the town of Prescott Valley. We explain to them on the paperwork, the information we give them, how easy it is to get their license, and pretty much just how important it is to keep your rabies up to date in your licensing.
And do you show them the process on how to do that? We make a requirement? How's that happen?
Yeah, we usually when somebody comes to our station and it is not licensed, we actually have to give a citation for failure to license, because it is required. and that will be my guarantee that that dog will be licensed. And that way, when the dogs leave our kennels, we know that they will be licensed within 30 days, and that's our main goal. We don't necessarily want a huge fine for them, but we want to do what's right.
Okay, good. Oh, that's great. Since we're talking about dogs, let's talk about the leash laws in Prescott Valley. What are the laws here for our community to be aware of when it comes to taking care of their animals out in public? And also, if we can talk about animals in cars.
Okay. So the leash laws in Prescott Valley are 6 foot, no retractables, no mobile leashes. It's all 6 foot. It has to be attached to you. So a lot of people think that our parks, especially at Mountain Valley Park, is if they close the gates there, that they can let their dog go. It's actually not, and that leash law is more or less their insurance policy. If a dog is off leash and comes over and attacks you, at least you have that insurance policy that you have your dog on leash, then the other person will be at fault. For dogs in a hot car, or actually just in a vehicle, because our city code is confined to a motor vehicle. It doesn't have a temperature because Prescott Valley teeters on very, very hot and very cold. So it is just confined to a motor vehicle. And our state statute and our city code gives us the authority to retrieve that dog out of that car.
So a dog just cannot be abandoned in a car at all?
Exactly.
Okay. That's good information to know. So, Sarah, with the restrictions on leashes and such in our parks and where animals can be exercised at, is there any place in Prescott Valley where somebody could take their dog and let them run?
So there's a few dog parks. There's the one over at Mountain Valley Park. Okay. And then there's also the one over off of Santa Fe Loop. I'm pretty sure there's one more. But, I mean, as for letting them off leash there, you can let them off there. And
So there are places that a good owner can take their animal to and let them run a little bit, but just not in the park where the kids are trying to play baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so talking a lot about dogs, what other things do you deal with on a daily basis in the community for animal control?
So last year we did 97 calls for wildlife.
97 wildlife.
Yes, and that was including rattlesnakes, javelina, antelope, coatimundis, raccoons, quail, you name it, we'll do it. A lot of times game and fish don't have the time to come out here, so we work closely with game and fish, and I'll go obtain the animal, and then we'll call game and fish and ask them what they would want us to do with it, whether if they want it or if they want us to release it out into the public. So
okay, so basically you're getting called for all kinds of things.
yeah, everything animal related,
right.
We get it. So
yeah, we were just talking about rattlesnakes. Several of them recently in the community that you've been dealing with. Is there anything we could maybe let the community know about on some safety around those snakes? We're starting to see them.
yeah, so we have a lot of construction going on in the Granville area, and actually close over here. It's disturbing their dens. It's also a season where they're going to start breeding and getting out a little bit more. The state has told us to expect October to be a little bit more than recent years. So just be careful, watch out in the tall grass. They're almost invisible within, 2 feet, they're gone. So just be careful with that. A lot of people have been finding them when they take their trash to the street. The rattlesnake will be underneath the trash can.
Okay.
So just look at in the corners and just watch where your feet go.
Yeah. Sarah, are they all rattling?
No.
No.
No, the ones we've caught recently have not rattled at all.
Okay. So don't expect that.
Yep.
Right. Watch where you put your feet and hands.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, well, thanks for that information. I'm going to be paying a little bit more attention because there's quite a few of them, and there's always been a lot out here in Prescott Valley, but with all the disturbing of the dirt and all that, probably expect to see more out there.
Yes. So far this year, it has been 29 just rattlesnakes, not including king snakes, bull snakes.
Okay.
We have actually caught 29 of them and relocated them.
Yeah, a lot of good snakes out there, though, right?
Yes.
Really
Yeah.
good ones.
King snakes, bull snakes, you want them in your yard because they keep the things that you don't want.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you were on duty the other day or not, but one of the officers brought a snake into my office. Did you hear about that?
No.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah. It was not a rattlesnake. It was I think it was a milk snake. And they wanted me to identify it. Like, I'm an expert in snakes, and I'm thinking, if there's anything I could ask you to do is just give me a heads up before you bring a snake in the office. Because I was a little challenged there on that. So it was a cool looking snake. So yeah, lots going on in animal control. How does the community get a hold of you? Let's just an example of some homeowner has an issue with maybe a stray dog at their house, or some wildlife, or whatever the case is. How do they go about getting a hold of you?
So the fastest way to get a hold of us is the non-emergency dispatch number. Because we are few, we're never in the office. So the non-emergency dispatch is at 928-772-9267.
So 772-9267.
Yes.
Got it.
And then for your barking complaints, the fastest way to get those completed and served is through the town's website for nuisance animals.
Okay.
That is the fastest. We try to get them to them every day, and sometimes we'll get 12 to 13 of those a day,
yeah.
And we get to those pretty quickly.
All right. Awesome. Well, what messages can we leave with our fine community here about being a good animal owner, a lover? What message would you like to send today?
I guess if you see an animal that's being mistreated, say something,
Okay.
and help them by saying something, and not just being anonymous. Actually, stand up and say something,
Okay.
Because we need the witnesses as well. Because a lot of times we don't see the violence towards the animals. We don't see them hitting. We don't see a lot of that. So with our town growing the way it has, we've been seeing an increase in animal cruelty.
Okay. All right. Sarah, anything?
Just the dog licensing, that's one of our biggest.
Okay.
A lot of stray dogs we catch just don't have licenses, and make sure you put their tags on their collars so we know that they are licensed, and get their vaccines and rabies vaccine. And
That makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
especially it kind of goes hand in hand what you just talked about taking care of the animals, because I've always been taught and I've always heard that we are the voice of the animals.
Yes.
They can't speak. We can speak for them.
Yeah.
So when you license your animal, it's not only good for their health, but you can readily identify them by name and phone number for sure, right? And then be able to get them back to the homeowner. That sometimes animals run off, and it just happens, right? 4th of July can be a time when
Monsoons, everything, yes.
Yeah, my dog, I have a great dog, and when the thunder comes, my dog hides in the closet. I mean, it's really upset. So sometimes you run across them like that, but you can get them back to the homeowner real quick. And I would just really like to end with that the voice of the animals are you, our public. So when we see mistreatment, we love our animals. We love our animals here in Prescott Valley, our dogs, our cats, our pets. Please call so that we can help take care of those animals, right? And then we can address any type of behaviors that may even be criminal at times.
Right.
So I appreciate that. Well, thank you so much for coming here. I hope you had a good time. And to our public, this was another edition of Chiefs Chat. It was really awesome to be able to introduce a couple of our folks to the community, and I hope you learned a little bit and you can see some of the great services that they provide. So Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.